I gave a shout out last episode to Tyrese Haliburton because he's been putting up some really, really freaking good numbers. The man literally mirrored Steve Nash's MVP season, but better. Like, not saying by that logic is Tyrese Haliburton going to be the MVP, but will he finish top 10?
Top 10 in MVP?
Guys, welcome back to another episode of I Got Next podcast, man. We got Juju, got my boy Phil Mayer back at it again, man. Love to see
What's
him
up?
here, man. And of course, I'm your boy Jerry D, man. But the first question that I want to ask you guys off rip: playoffs start today. Who would win the title at around this 30% mark from what we've seen from these teams? Obviously, Boston's been killing it. Cleveland is a surprise team, kind of, and so is Sacramento. Who would win the title today if you had to pick one team?
Giannis.
The Bucks.
I haven't seen anything from Giannis that has. I haven't seen anything from Giannis and the Bucks that has made me doubt them enough to put another team in front of them.
Not
I
even.
mean, so far it's Bucks, it's Celtics, Bucks, and the field right now. So
Right. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the Bucks too. I think Boston's been incredible. The thing is, I think the team with the best player will always win, and Giannis has been outright dominant to start the year. I mean, no one's talking about it. He's averaging like 32 and 12. I want to say 32,
Agreed.
12 and 6. We're just so used to it. We're not even talking about that kind of thing. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna go with the Bucks myself.
I think Giannis is getting like early 2010s LeBron versions of overlooked right now. To be fair,
Sure.
Jason Tatum deserves all of his flowers. But this is essentially the same team with a different coaching staff that coughed it up to the Warriors in 2022. So I don't think that anyone else can overtake the Bucks. Like Cleveland is giving me 21, 22-ish Grizzlies. The Pelicans, I mean, yeah, the Pelicans might come out of the West. Who knows? They might fuck around and do that. But at the end of the day, this is the Celtics and the Bucks title to lose.
Okay, that's kind of where I'm at as well. I'd actually go Boston just because I feel like that finals loss actually looks like it did something to them. Like you remember earlier in the earlier episodes, I was really saying I'm kind of disappointed with Jason Tatum, how he took a step back, how Jaylen
Yeah.
Brown was the best player for Boston in that series, like
Right.
when it clearly should have been Tatum since it is quote unquote his team. I expected a lot more. So I was really down on Boston to start out the season, but they shut me up. I think they're like 17-2 in their last like 19 or so games. They started out the season like 4-6, whatever it was. So
Yeah.
now they're balling. Like I'm high on Boston right now, despite Milwaukee having the better player in the series if they were to go in the Eastern Conference Finals. I'm kind of feeling the Boston mania at the moment, to be real.
And they're getting Rob Williams back in 8 to
You can
12
be a trend.
days.
Yeah, gonna be a big
Yeah.
boost.
No, I mean of all the trend chasing things you've ever done, Jerry, I think this is probably the most defensible.
Who are you, man? I don't trend this. I keep it real. But now, since we are on Boston now, though, like let's just get into that. Since they have that right now, they have the best record in the league. They only have 5 losses. They're 21-5.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are the only 2 players in the NBA right now to average at least 25 points and 7 rebounds on at least 40% shooting. Just those 2. So, how do you feel about the trajectory of the season? Obviously, when we did the over-unders for them at the start of this thing, I think we all said over 50 wins or over 55 wins, whatever it was. Are you still feeling that way, or how many losses will they have? Might be an even better question at this point.
I think at this point their floor is 60. I'll say that. I think like we're almost 30 games into the season now. My rule of thumb is usually about a quarter of the way through is when we find out what teams really kind of are for the rest of the season. So unless they like absolutely tank or they have another devastating injury, um, I think that their floor is 60 wins now. I think they could fuck around and end up being one of the great regular season teams in NBA history.
What's wild is that 3 of their 5 losses have been in overtime, and to teams like the Cavs, the
Yep.
Cavs twice actually, and the
They
Miami
have good
Heat. So
losses.
like they have some tough losses that they've been in. So it's not like they're getting blown out or anything. Yeah, I'm with Julian. I think 60 wins is kind of what you'd expect out of this team. 21-5, about the
Yep.
32% mark of the season, I would say for most teams. I don't see how they don't get 60 barring some injuries. I mean, they're playing at a really high level right now. Their defense looks, their offense rather is just astronomical right now. Number one offense in, I believe, NBA history if this
Mhm.
stands. So even if they come crashing down to earth just a little bit, they're still really good. So 60 should be their floor.
Well, and it's weird, right? Because they don't necessarily have like a. Sorry about that. Just got all the crimes happening on my street for whatever reason. But it's weird about Boston's offense because it's not like they're run in any sort of revolutionary way. Tatum and Jalen Brown are not two guys that we haven't seen before. They're not two transcendent talents that like should take an offense to the stratosphere, like what we've seen with the other unicorns in the league right now.
Right.
But this efficiency that we're seeing this potential unlocked where Tamara, I swear this is not a dig at your team. This is kind of what we were hoping to see from the Clippers. Two
Quasi. Yeah.
two-way elite wings, right? Like,
It's the
No,
for real.
you know
that's
what I
true.
mean?
That's true. That's
Like
true.
this is the potential that we were hoping with Kawhi and PG like in 2019, 2020, and it is scary. This is
Yeah, I
like,
mean, I think the biggest thing for Boston is they've gotten Malcolm Brogdon, who's just been a really consistent
yep.
floor general for them off the bench. They've lost Gallinari. We haven't even mentioned they've
Yep.
lost Gallinari, who was supposed to be a nice little bench piece for them, averaging maybe 13, 14 points. Like they have they have a lot of help
Hmm.
there. If Gallo can somehow make it back, I don't know how, but
Hmm.
somehow if he can make it back at the end of this year, I mean, I don't see how Boston isn't the favorite. You know, outside of Giannis, I will say, because Giannis again, most dominant player right now. Boston looks fantastic right now.
Yeah, like I'll just throw out some little stats that I dug up not too long ago. Tatum is actually the first player in Celtics history to average at least 30 points a game through the first 25 points a game. Like,
History?
that's ridiculous. In Celtics history,
Wow,
Really,
averaged
wow,
30 at least through the first 25 games of the season.
wow.
Insane.
really.
Also,
So,
the
well,
Celtics,
I go ahead, Jer.
the Celtics are undefeated against the Western Conference and against teams that are 500 or better, other than the Cleveland Cavaliers, because they're the only team that dug them out twice in overtime wins.
Right.
So, like, again, plus the last one I'm gonna throw out, they are 21-5, but they're 10-3 on the road, which is like, damn, like, again, I really
It
feel
really
like
is.
that loss just humbled them. Like, if anything, Tatum looks better than what he did, like at least in the finals. From my lasting impression of the 2021-22 season was a really bad taste in my mouth from Jason Tatum. Like, I had
Right.
legit beef with Tatum for like this whole entire season. I am, I shit you not, I was so disappointed. Like any disciple of Kobe, like Book, DeMar DeRozan, Kyrie, all those guys, when they do bad, I'm like, shame on you. Like, how could you? So when
You spit
Tatum,
on his legacy? Yeah.
it is kind of like, damn, like that. No, that's not your favorite player. You didn't go out guns a blazing. You came out and just disappeared for me. So like, I
You know what?
was disappointed.
I think the key with Boston right now is they always just Tamara, let me know if this feels familiar to you, especially like when we pick the Bucks over them. They always feel like they got next sort of team for like the past like 2 3 years. Like they're like, oh, they got next, and I haven't, and I feel like I missed the hype of being like they're here now. You know what I mean?
I mean,
Um,
I actually would agree with that because Jalen Brown's 26, Jason Tatum's 24. Like these guys technically haven't hit their primes yet. So in a way, you could feel like, all right, like the best of them is coming. And so I
right,
kind of understand that take. I wouldn't disagree with that. I would just say
right.
that once you make the finals, your time is now. I mean, they kept the same roster, they have the same key
No, right,
players.
right,
So like I feel
exactly.
like it kind of is their time, I would say. I wouldn't be surprised if they win it this year. Honestly, sometimes you get these teams that feel like teams of destiny. I feel like the Suns, the year they went to the finals, just had health going their way. I mean,
All the
CP didn't
momentum
miss
in the
many
world.
regular season games.
All the momentum
They
in
were
the world.
just smoking. I think they won 57 games or something like that year.
Yeah.
And then they just got a lot of breaks their way as well, and they made the finals. So like sometimes you get those seasons, and I think Boston right now might be on path to that kind of team of destiny kind of thing.
Well, and what you the stats that you spit, Jerry, like my whole thing is like these things, it just for whatever reason doesn't feel like that. But then you look at the stats and you're like, oh, they're 10-3 on the road. Oh, they like two of their losses came in overtime. They have great losses to good teams. They just spanked the Suns by near damn 30.
Yeah, it was crazy.
So like I feel like the feeling isn't there for me yet, but I feel like it'll catch up soon enough. Like they're shaping up to be a scary, 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 scary team. Not shaping up. I need to stop with that language. They are a scary, scary
They're a
team.
scary team.
Like
One last thing that I will say about them, though, their offense, like watching Boston play yesterday, like I watched that ass whooping of a game on December 7th where they dismantled the Suns. Their star players aren't afraid to get in the nitty gritty of things. And what I mean by that
nope.
is really they're setting screens, like off ball screens, to free up other guys. Like Tatum setting a screen for Brown and cutting hard to the hole, where most stars of that caliber, like watching Booker yesterday, Devin Booker's not going to get down and set a screen. He's like, I'm going to control this tempo. I'm going to make sure this play happens, whether that ends with me scoring the ball or I move the rock to another outside shooter on the other wing.
Hmm.
I'm seeing Tatum and Brown actually set these dirty off-ball screens for each other, and like Derek White or Marcus Smart, or even Blake Griffin getting playing time and actually being effective now in Boston. Like I'm seeing them get everybody involved. Like when stars say they don't really care about stats, you kind of get that vibe. Like okay, but you still want to get your 30 piece, or you still want to make sure you get your 35-5 or whatever it might be. Watching them play yesterday just like seamless basketball. Everything looks so perfect and crisp and
Hmm.
clean. And I'm just really seeing them not give a shit about who scores the rock on daily possessions. So like I'm big pro Boston right now, and I'm a Laker fan, so it kind of makes me mad. But I got to be pro Boston right now, unbiased, of course.
I like the weird thing too is that outside of Tatum and Jalen, there isn't really like a big scorer on their roster, right? Like Brogdon comes close, but I don't think anyone else really eclipses 10 or 11 points per game. But then the way that they play, they turn grittiness into what? Right? One of the best offenses in NBA history. Two wings, man. Two elite two-way wings. We
We we
forget.
we gonna get to them, but first we got to talk about the guys that they played in the finals. Actually, the Warriors, who happened to lose in a buzzer beater fashion because Ty Jerome turned the ball over against the Utah Jazz. So the Warriors are right now, currently 11-2 at home, one of the best home records in the league. But they're 2-11 on the road. What's wrong with the Warriors, in y'all opinion?
Second worst road record in the league right now, behind only the Orlando Magic at 1-11. These Warriors just for whatever reason, I mean, they feel like a team that's understanding of the long season grind and a team kind of in a championship hangover, I would say. I think that's kind of
Yeah.
overused at times, but really, when you've been through this four times, winning it, they've been what, seven finals, I want to say, in the last couple of years, or
Hmm.
six, I want to
Hmm.
say. Like
Hmm.
that's a lot of time playing all the way to June. So like, I think these by now they understand pacing themselves. Um, I don't want to attribute all the problems to just hangover because they did lose a lot of key veterans. A lot of guys who were playing important minutes for them last year. Bielitsa, small ball five, Otto Porter Jr., who did a lot of the dirty work for the Warriors. So, and they're playing a bit more of James Wiseman, who I think we can admit at this point is still raw and still learning how to play with the big boys. I will say so. Um, all that's kind of transitioned to what we're seeing now, which is a slow moving process for them. I'm not too concerned right now. I mean, when you have a team with Steph, Clay, and Draymond, and Jordan Poole, who's been really good. Like if those guys are healthy, I don't think you can ever rule that team out of anything or be overly concerned. Um, you don't want to be in
I
the
think
playing spot, but we'll see where they are in a month or two. But right now, 13-13, not really ideal.
right. I think they're in a less urgent spot than they were at the beginning of the season. Like they're sitting at 500 right now, but at the same time, um, I think that everyone outside of Steph is sleep. Like they're leaning way too much and on Steph's greatness to bail them out of every single game. And it don't matter that Wiggins, Poole, Clay are all averaging right around 20 points a game. When no one is playing defense, Steph is the only one that's helping the offense pull away. Um, and regardless of the scheme around him. So I think it's taking a little bit of time for Clay to ramp up his efficiency. And he's getting way too many fucking shots to average, 17, 18 points a game, something like that. I think Poole is getting misused a little bit on the bench. I think that they have a black hole in the middle, defense wise. They have an attackable point. So I think they're taking a while to wake up. They're playing regular season rope a dope. I agree with Tomer. But what's wrong with them is that I wonder how easy it is going to be for this version of the Warriors to break out of that habit once, crunch time happens.
So the one thing
Yeah,
I will say, just to kind of add to that, if I could, is that the Celtics
yeah,
really started to exploit the Warriors in the finals with athleticism. And the Warriors really figured that out and attacked a lot of their mismatches and were able to hide a lot of their deficiencies. Now, Tatum and Brown still got theirs, but they struggled shooting in those final three games. Like they really just struggled shooting. So I wonder if teams will figure out a way to exploit that. I mean, again, the Warriors are still the Warriors. Steph can still have a nuclear 30-point quarter if he wants to, and all's well over there. But really, they have to figure out, I think, defensively where they are. Like you can't have Steph be your second leading rebounder. He was a leading rebounder for most of the season until the last couple of games. Like I don't think that can
Mhm.
happen. So they have a lot to figure out there for sure. It's not just championship hangover.
Right.
that's exactly where I'm at too. Like if we look at the NFL season with how the Rams just won a Super Bowl and pretty much they're like one of the worst teams in the NFL right now at like three
Hmm.
and nine or 3-8, whatever it is. Like it's definitely a little bit of a championship hangover, right? Except in the NBA, you have a lot more time to actually bounce back since it's an 82 game season. Right now we're like at the 26 game mark and stuff, and we know it's the Warriors. We know at some point things are just gonna magically come together after everybody just took their turns, pretty much pushing them down. And like, that's still a game if you're the Hornets or the Pacers or any of these other teams in the league, you're gonna circle that one and be like, yeah, we want to get one on the defending champs. Like, let's keep them as down low as possible. So I do agree with you guys. I think Steph Curry shows still like when it should be like, that Warriors basketball that we all kind of know and love in some senses. That's like pieces of that San Antonio offense, right from Curry, just making sure the ball's moving and whipping around. Like honestly, I don't want to see as amazing as it is. I don't want to see Steph Curry average 30 plus a night at this advanced age. And yes, I get it. He's still in his prime. But when you have all those weapons on your team, Steph Curry should be like a 27 to 30 a night kind of scorer. 25 to 30 a night, even. Like, I don't want to keep running his usage rate high up until the time, like, come this time next year. What if injuries come up? And it could be
Right.
because he's playing 30 plus amount of minutes this season. But to kind of follow into that, though, the next question for the Warriors that we're going to stick on to, will it ever be time to actually trade Klay Thompson? Because Jordan Poole is a weapon, right? He's averaging around 17 points a night off the bench or something like that. As a starter in those three games this season, he's averaging around 28 to 29 points a game. Obviously, this is Steph Curry effect, right? The defenses don't key in on him, on Jordan Poole as much whenever Steph Curry's sharing the floor with them, because obviously you're going to circle Steph Curry on that map. But
Right.
Jordan Poole's a
Well,
big time.
here's the tough thing about Klay Thompson. Two things. he is a legacy member of this team. You are going to have a hard time trading Klay Thompson, right?
For sure.
Even as the dude who's relatively fallen off of your formerly juggernaut team, like let's say the Heatles like stayed together for as long as these Warriors did, right? Would it be easy trading Bosh? Would it be easy trading Wade? If LeBron was one to fall off, would it be easy trading LeBron? Like that's going to be a really tough sell to ask any ownership panel at all. Two, of the two players, teams aren't stupid. Like they're going to of the two, tradable assets, three if you include Wiggins, they're going to want the other two, not Klay right now. So he is the most untradeable one, and he is a legacy member of this team. So tragically, and this might bite them in the ass, I don't know if it'll ever be time for them to trade Klay Thompson until it's way too fucking late, and he's just like a fifth piece on a trade.
Yeah, I think the Warriors have.
So, man,
This is kind of wild to say. The Warriors have four untouchables to me, and that's Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, and Jordan Poole. Um, Wiggins and Poole because of age, how important they were to their finals run last year, and they really have to, they seriously have to consider their future. And I think that obviously those guys are them. Um, so I don't see. I mean, and then Steph and Clay, you know what they mean to them. I mean, um, Julian touched on it, but there's just no way you can get away with trading those guys. I mean, trading Westbrook for the Thunder was hard. Now imagine doing that when you've won 4 championships. I just don't think that happens. I think if anything, he just retires there. They kind of eat whatever negative on court kind of thing happens with him. But I mean, I think people forget that like with ACL and Achilles, that first year back doesn't really it's such really it's not. Kawhi said it best recently. It's not a 1 year process, it's a 2 year process. It's the first year coming back and used to doing things. This offseason was his first offseason he's had to actually work on his game in like 3 or 4 years. So like this second year, I think is when we'll see him get back to his old self. And I think we've seen it at times. He's still struggling. Also getting older. But I don't think there'll ever be a time where they trade Klay Thompson. I just don't think you can do that. If anyone, they have to trade Draymond Green, in my opinion, or some of the other guys like I think they also value Kavan, I guess. So maybe a Kaminga or something like that. But again, that's a youth movement. I don't really think you want to trade that. So it's tough. But I think, like Julian said, legacy wise, I don't think you can get away with trading Klay Thompson. I think you got to keep him and just write it out no matter what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah, we're all on the same bus here. Like, he's an untouchable. Go ahead.
I was going to say the one thing the Warriors have going for them is that the rest of the West is very, very mid. And like at 13 and 13, at 13 and 13, they're 4 games behind the number 1 overall seed. 4 games.
Right.
Like the West is so average right now. No one is stuck out. No, maybe the Pelicans are 15 and 8, 16 and 8. They've won 5 in a row. Maybe them, but
Pelicans,
they're only 4 games. Yeah, but they're only 4 games out of the Warriors. So like it's still wide open. The Warriors can still make a run for a top 4 seed easily, very easily. We've seen it happen before.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right now they can afford to play rope-a-dope. But with this version of the Warriors, Draymond's been this version of himself for a while. Klay is like the epitome of empty calorie scoring right now.
Empty calories. I love it.
I don't want to say peak Kevin Martin, but
Whoa.
right now,
Settle
right
down
now,
there. Whoa, that's a little
right
too
now.
far.
Hey, no! Don't disrespect Pete Kevin Martin, Tomer. Pete Kevin Martin.
Your game. Sacramento. Kevin Martin.
That's what I'm saying. Don't disrespect the Kings after you just had this Kings shout out a few weeks back.
Kevin Martin never wasn't. I mean, Klay Thompson was doing. I mean, the different players off the dribble wise, but like, come on, man. Clay's reached some astronomical numbers, feats.
Listen.
Come on now.
I'm not. This isn't a legacy award. Tomer. You get the stat. It's
hey,
Pete Martin.
Speaking of, you did touch on though how the West is wide open, and our new 1 seed after Phoenix got their stuff torn apart is the Pelicans. It's the Pelicans with Zion Williamson leading the way, which, by the way, it's kind of been like astronomical because that was my dark horse team but you guys like
They were
pretty
Jimmy's dark
much
horse.
shat on. Yeah, hey, nobody really talked about the Pelicans, but anyway, in Zion's last 4 games, I'm gonna read these out to you: 33 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists; 30 points, 15 rebounds, 8 assists; 25 points, 6 boards, 4 assists; and 29 points, 10 boards, 5 assists. Zion has been on a tear right now. So how serious should
Hmm.
we take the Pelicans to hold on to the 1 seed moving throughout the rest of the season? It is wide open.
First of all, I don't know why we're not talking about Zion as an MVP candidate.
I think we did for dark horse MVP candidates in the beginning. First
No,
team
Yeah,
but
this
playoff.
isn't
right
just
now,
dark horse anymore, though. This is
no, no,
legit
no, no, no.
MVP
But
candidate.
Legit.
this dialogue about Zion has not been loud enough for the shit that he's been pulling off. All right.
Facts.
So right now, the MVP ladder as it stands reads from 10 to 1: Jaylen Brown, Donovan, Ja, KD, Steph, Book, Giannis, Jokic, Doncic, and Tatum. Now, I respect Jaylen Brown. Believe you me, I love Jaylen Brown. I love Ja. I gotta love KD. Um, uh, but they're not doing what Zion is doing. Uh, as the leader of a team, he is not getting the flowers that he deserves.
Just
Ja
to
might be.
cut in real quick, it's probably because he did miss some time with injuries, like in the middle points of the season so far. Maybe that's why. If I had to
I mean,
create an excuse
yes,
for like people
right,
putting
right,
him down,
right. In the final realms for voting, sure, but this early on, Zion is an MVP candidate, especially with his past few games.
I
That
will say he
said,
will be. Okay,
too,
go ahead.
no, no, no. I think obviously the health is still like a "Ew, don't touch this hot stove" point for people, but you you can't hedge your bets on injury in the world of sports right now. In terms of voting, in terms of all that, Zion is an MVP, and he is leading a cast of 2 other All-Star caliber players, at least. And then you have Jose Alvarado doing his best Ivica Zubac scoring impression out here. Um, so, I think the Pelicans are a legitimate threat. They are a we got next sort of team, like these Cavs out east. I think that's a good comp. Um, Cavs out east, Pelicans out west. That new shit that's gonna make people talk.
I will say, I think the Pelicans need to do this, or Zion rather needs to do this for a little bit longer, consistently, putting up these numbers. He did miss some time earlier. He had a few low scoring games, and I think you have to consider that he's also playing with two. CJ is probably the best non All Star player of all time. A guy who never made an All Star game. I mean, he's averaging what 18 points this year. 18 plus. Let me just pull this up real quick. He's averaging 17 points and 6 assists for the actually shooting just 40%. So not great, but he's got him. He's got Zion's got Bi right there playing well. Grand Theft Alvarado, who we know is taking the league by storm. Trey Murphy in his I believe second year now is just killing it.
yep.
He is just lights out right now for the Pelicans, shooting 41% from three. There's a lot of help on and Valanciunas. I've mentioned Valanciunas. So there's a lot of help on that team. So I think Zion just needs to be more consistently averaging these numbers. And I think the MVP talk will come on its own. Like, I don't think there's any question about it. They've reached the number one overall
That's
seed
fair.
with him being good. And once he becomes great and does this consistently, I think the flowers will come, just genuinely without even having to bring it up like this. Like, I think people will talk about him
I
more
don't know.
as an MVP candidate that way.
Like, yeah, past 5 games though, 33-10 and like a boatload of other things. That's beyond pretty good. And 5 games is a decent sample size. That caused us to look at Anthony Davis. You know,
It's kind of, but I do agree with Tomer though. It is kind of like a waiting game because you brought up the best point probably this whole segment. Oh, the stove is too hot because what if he gets hurt? And blah blah blah. Like that's what everybody who's putting these type of lists together is so worried about, that he is going to miss X amount of time, like at any point in time, whatever it might be.
Yeah, but you can't think about that if this is my whole thing for whoever puts together the Kia NBA MVP ladder. Have the three of us pick the top 10. All right, sponsor us, Kia.
Hey, why not? But you did kind
I
of touch
mean,
on the next thing that we're
yeah.
actually going to jump in. Hey, you want last thoughts
Nope.
here, Tommy?
No. You're good. Go for it. We've said all we need to say about Zion.
So yeah, there'll be more Zion talk later on down the road, I promise. But right now we got to talk about my Lakers, my boy Anthony Davis, who you guys wanted me to get rid of in one of these trade games that we played a couple weeks back. You got to trade AD for young talent. You got to do this. You got to do that. But then he went. The Lakers went 8-2 in a 10-game span, and he averaged 35 and 15 and a half rebounds with a boatload of steals and a boatload of blocks. And unfortunately, he couldn't have a flu game-like performance the other night because he was a little sick and he just, left the game. That was a little frustrating. But hey, Anthony Davis, body-wise, looks pretty damn good. And obviously, we all know that he could be a top 5 player in the league when he's healthy. How do we feel about AD's resurgence? How do we feel about the Lakers right now?
We just talked about people hedging their bets on Zion for
That's
his
right.
injury,
Come
and he
back.
doesn't have a nearly as large track record. Jerry, listen, I'm not playing this teasing will they won't they bullcrap thing with AD. He tricks us. Okay, can we talk about NBA players that we have beef with? I have beef with AD. I have beef with AD. This is a message from me to AD. Listen, I understand that you are an otherworldly talent. You were an otherworldly Kareem, LeBron, KG sized prospect when you were drafted. And for 20 to 30 games out of every season that you are healthy for that amount of time, you will show me, you will show the world why you are the future of the NBA. And then the fact that you have the physical integrity of a hot Hershey's bar comes into play.
Woo.
And you will go into hibernation for 80, 90, 70, 60 games. And it happens like clockwork every single season. And I'm not having it anymore, Anthony. You need to get built like your unibrow and actually show me that you can hold this up for more than 10, 20, 30 games and or a playoff run for me to believe you. Because right now, yes, 8-2 is great. You know it's not great? You're still 10-14.
Hey, we
That's
started
what
out.
y'all are.
They started out the season 2-10, bro.
Yeah, I will give Anthony Davis some credit here. He's done exactly what people have asked him to do, and that's come out, one, be healthy,
Yes.
two, be dominant. Now, last year he had no games over 35 points. The year before that, he had 4 games over 35 points. And this first year with the Lakers, he had about 7, I want to say. And that was the COVID year, so there was a break in between. He played quite a lot of games. This year, he's already got 5 games of at least 35. That includes a 55.17 rebound game, a 44.10 rebound game, 38-16, 37-18, 37-21. And I haven't even mentioned the blocks. There's a 5-block game in there, a 4-block game, and 2 3-block games in there with those numbers. That's not something he was doing before. And so I mean I've said right now this guy is the best player in the game right now for this stretch. He's the best player in the NBA because no one is doing what he's doing right now. I know Booker had a 50 piece. He wasn't getting me 18 rebounds and 5 blocks with it. So I just, as much as people want to, if you're the person who's clowning on AD, you also got to be the one who's giving him credit. I just don't think you can not give him any credit given what he's doing right now. And the funniest thing is, you look at the box score. He's got in his last 2 games, it's 55 points and then 1 point. That's obviously due to the injury that he left with flu-like symptoms. But it's just funny seeing that on the box score. I just don't think you got to give AD his flowers. There's nothing you could say here. This guy's putting up monster numbers, carrying this team. If he doesn't put up these numbers, they don't win these games. They just don't win these games. And he's doing that.
Right. So by that logic, right?
Sure.
He is putting up the same numbers. Like, listen, I'm giving him his credit. Believe you me.
The
I
same
think
numbers as
that
what?
as he did like at his last
No,
year in New
I
Orleans.
just said.
Yeah,
In New Orleans.
in New Orleans, in New Orleans, in New
Let me
Orleans,
pull that up.
in
Let
New
me pull that
Orleans.
up real quick.
That's okay. You're gonna check my work. Listen, listen. That last that last full year in New Orleans, after Boogie went down, this is reminding me of that stretch. Okay, from him, at least individually, right? Right.
Sure.
Can we at least agree on that?
Sure.
Okay,
Okay.
which is huge. That's great. That's
Okay.
awesome. And I love that. 8-2 is way better than I thought the Lakers would be after seeing how they started. Okay. And it has all been on Anthony Davis's shoulders, right? But quarter way through the season, teams reveal who they really, really are. And the Anthony Davis led Lakers are a streaky 10-14.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
This
You
is
can't say Anthony Davis is putting up 45, but this of course we all know it's a team game.
we
But
did
what
that for
Anthony Davis
years in
is
New
doing
Orleans.
right
We
now.
did that for years in New Orleans. What's the difference now?
Well, he's not a number one
Honestly,
option there,
like just
and we've
watching.
learned that he's not a number one option for a championship team. But as a salt, he's. You telling me he's not probably the best number 2 in the NBA right now behind LeBron James? Tell
Talent
me what
wise,
number 2 is
absolutely the
doing
best number
this.
two.
What number 2 is putting up these numbers? What number 2 has
No,
ever
no, no,
put up
no.
these
He hasn't
numbers?
been. He hasn't been putting up his 55 burgers as a number two on this Lakers squad. Tamir, don't,
So far,
don't.
so
Right
far
now,
in
right?
this stretch,
No,
in this
no, 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 no. No, AD's been the number one in this stretch.
AD's been number one in this stretch
Don't
because
don't do that, Tamir.
In this stretch.
Don't
But
do that.
I'm saying on this roster, he's a number 2 behind LeBron. Sure, they want to feature him more. Fine, I get that. But like AD's never done this with LeBron James. He's never done this level of to just take over, just put the team on my shoulders. I'm thinking the Lakers anyway, the LeBron Lakers. All I'm saying is you have to give him his credit. I don't think you can go AD's doing this, but just say AD's doing this. Give him his props. That's it. I think that's where it ends.
80s. No, fine. 80's doing this, and this is the same stuff that I saw in New Orleans before.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. But he's showing you that he's healthy and able to do it, which is what a lot of people say he couldn't do anymore.
Right. All that I'm saying is that we are not giving the same shrift, the same earth-shattering shrift. Honestly, when I talked about Zion Williamson being disrespected and being overlooked, AD is the person that I was thinking about in my head. This stretch of
talking about
AD
this
versus
season?
this stretch of Zion. Yeah.
This stretch of AD is outplaying Zion, though. But Zion definitely needs to be talked about more. Yes, I agree with that. I would agree with that. Also, it's the Lakers. They're always going to get talked about.
I know. Jesus.
Well, all right, okay. I just settle down. Now I'm gonna attempt to make Captain Unhinge even more unhinged here.
Crypto.com arena.
We're gonna play some start bench cut. Okay. So let me give you these three names,
Oh boy.
and you guys have at it. We have Anthony Davis. And yes, I just changed this up because this talk is having it's so progressive. We're having a great time. So the next one is Zion Williamson. And the last player, just because I know Julian is such a big fan of him, it's going to be Joel Embiid, who's also missed a lot of time so far this season. So AD, Zion, Joel, have at it.
Wow.
Tomer, you go first, man. I need to. I have better help pulled up on my screen. I'm just gonna DM my therapist real quick. Jerry's trying to activate my sciatica.
I have to.
Now,
Welcome to the dark side, baby.
Jeez. I mean, if you're going to play this season,
Strictly play this season.
Availability counting into it and everything?
Availability counting in. Work to the team. How valuable are they?
This is a tough one.
All
this is not fun. This is not
This
fun.
is a really good one, Jerry. This is a really
This is
good one,
not
Jerry.
fun.
This is gonna
before was too easy, but seeing how everything kind of bled into from the Zion topic into now, it's like let's just stretch out these names and put this in
Jerry, Jerry,
I'm
can I
gonna.
ask who you had in here before?
the
I just
names
want
I
to
had.
ask. Just
It
yeah.
was minus Zion. It was going to be Jokic, and I know you would have been Jokic is starting for you, but
Daddy loves him some Jokic. Yeah, you're right.
because like putting
I'm
Giannis
gonna.
in there, like hell, I'd probably.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just gonna preface this by saying there's no disrespect here. We got to do what we got to
No,
do in this case,
no,
and
right.
I'm just gonna go with it. I'm starting. Uh, I'm starting Joel Embiid. We're talking about right now. I'm starting Joel Embiid. I'm benching Anthony Davis, and I'm cutting Zion Williamson. I hate myself for it, but based off right now, that's what I got to go with.
Whew. Juke?
I don't like it. I'm not
Jerry, do you
happy
want
about it.
Jerry? Do you want me to be unhinged right now? Do you want me to
That
actually be unhinged, or do you want
that's
me to
the
give something rational?
hey. Give me something. Give me factual. I need factual unhingedness. It needs to be a blend. Be real about it. Be wild about it. Tell me how you feel, Juke.
Okay, goddamn, this is gonna be so bad. Y'all gonna assume that I'm just hating. I'm starting AD, benching Zion, cutting Joel.
I knew it. I knew that's exactly how he was going to go, T. I freaking knew it. He really
I
does
had a
not
feeling.
like Joel Embiid. He is not a Joel Embiid guy. He's not a Joel Embiid guy.
I'm
Man, I can't
sorry.
wait. Dude, I can't wait to chop this up into shorts. God,
Oh,
Philadelphia needs to be at Julian's house in New York ASAP. He just
oh
Bro,
cut
my
this
god.
dude is.
him.
Oh my goodness. So he's averaging 32 points on
Okay,
like 51%. Oh, jeez. I don't know, man. Okay. All right.
okay. No, wait. Can I explain myself?
Go ahead.
Can I explain myself? I can, right?
Talk to me.
Okay. Here's my thing. Okay. I'm big into what's the big word? Winning. Okay. Winning. And you said, Tomer, we're factoring availability. Are we not?
Yeah.
Okay. So, that being said, on a Lakers team, like I'm not going to deny that AD. You want me to give AD credit? This is where I give him credit because with these 10 games in mind, to where he has been performing like all through the season, this has influenced the rest of his season for me. The Lakers are sitting like pretty close to 500, 10 and 14. Like it's not unachievable for them to have a winning record after this. AD is blasting both Joel and Zion in terms of like the advanced stats, which I'm a big sucker for, to be fair. And then below him, Zion is clearly the best player with the lowest usage rate between him, AD, and Joel. But Zion is the best player on the West's best team. And Joel, he's putting up otherworldly stats, but for an not an equally mid, better mid Philly team. So what am I supposed? It's not disrespect. I really don't want it to be, but one has to go, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah. I understand that. I
These
get
are my
it. That makes
reasonings.
sense.
Yeah. Thank you.
That
Thank
makes
you.
sense.
It's,
God.
it's
I
there's no problem. There's no problem. It's just that I knew that he was gonna cut Joel. Like the reason he wanted to let you go
too
first,
early.
Tomer,
It's too
was just
early.
to be like he's probably gonna start Joel. He knew in his head he's gonna start Joel and probably
No,
keep. He knew what you're gonna do, Tomer. He knew. I'm just saying. Like
I
he had it
didn't.
set up in his mind already.
I
I'm just
didn't though.
Yeah. Admittedly, I'm a
whew.
Joel guy, but that's spicy.
Listen, I think Joe. All right, let's just move on.
No,
I'm just.
we're gonna move on. We're like okay. Before we just go full games here, I got one more long topic for y'all. I gave a shout out last episode at the end to Tyrese Haliburton because he's been putting up some really, really freaking good numbers.
Hmm.
The man literally mirrored Steve Nash's MVP season, but
Hmm.
better with numbers that include for Steve Nash's 05 06 MVP,
Mhm.
19 a game, 10.5 assists, 4.2 boards, a steal a game on 51, 44, and 92 shooting splits. Tyrese Haliburton this season, 20 a game, 11 assists, 4.5 boards, almost 2 steals on 48, 38, and 88. So, like, not saying by that logic is Tyrese Haliburton going to be the MVP, but will he finish top 10? Will be the first question I'll ask for Tyrese.
Top 10 in
Ooh.
MVP?
Top 10 in MVP voting this year. The Pacers right
Season
now
or
is 6.
in his career?
No, like this year. This year. Top 10, like
No,
MVP vote.
no. Respectfully, of course. He just plays
I
in
I would
Indiana.
like him to be. Yeah. Um. This is the way that Tyrese Haliburton enters top 10 MVP conversation is if Indiana becomes a top 4 seed.
Exactly.
That's how that happens. Do I see that happening is the better question, and the answer is I don't.
As it stands,
Yeah,
they're the
we're all over
6th seed
the
right now, 13 and 12. They are a half game out of the 4th seed.
They,
So like
no, they are, but
we've said it. The rest of the
go
East
ahead.
is the rest of the NBA is very, very average right now. There's no outside of Boston,
Right.
Milwaukee, no team has really stuck their neck out and shown that they're better.
Cleveland is sticking their neck out.
Who?
Cleveland is sticking their neck out.
Sure, Cleveland.
In the East, in the East.
Sure, Cleveland's
The
still
East.
4.5 games behind Boston, and they're only 2 games up on the Nets and the Pacers. So sure, they still have some time, but like the Pacers aren't that far away. Like if Halliburton can consistently do this, which he's shown he can do, and they can win, I think they'll be fine. The thing for me is if they don't trade away pieces, I think they'll be okay. If they keep the pieces they have in Hield and Turner, I think they can make a nice little playoff run.
Well, so
Yeah.
but the question is, do you think that if they make the a top 4 seed in the East, Tyrese becomes a top 10 MVP candidate?
Yes, if they are a top 4 seed in the East, Tyrese Haliburton definitely is top 10 MVP, 100%.
Okay.
Because that
So in
they
my
go as far as he goes. He has to be playing this well for them to be a top 4 seed.
so in my mind, then you would again. I'll remind you of the ladder: Jalen Brown, Donovan Mitchell, Ja, KD, Steph, Book, Giannis, Jokic, Doncic, and then Tatum. So that's not even including the Zionses, the Joels, the ADs. So right now, Tyrese is sitting at best, or what was it? Even like the Garlands or whatever. You know what I mean? The
Mhm.
Garlandses, the Allenses. So right now, Tyrese is sitting at what? Maybe, goddamn, maybe the Trey Youngs is even. I don't know. Like the Darius is sitting at, Tyrese is sitting at what? Like 16th, 17th right now at best. So if the Pacers get a top 4 seed in the East and they pull away from the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, right? So like Cleveland, they're not on Boston's or Milwaukee's level, right? But they're
Right.
clearly pulling away from the rest of the East. If the Pacers are able to do the same thing, the exact same thing, but for the 4th at least, I think he'll take Jalen Brown's spot.
Yeah, for sure.
They
I
Um,
think Jalen Brown's
just
spot will
for
be taken. Yeah.
they
yeah,
did. The Pacers were at the 4 seed, but Tyrese Haliburton missed a couple games with a groin injury. But to kind of shift gears a little bit here, you kind of mentioned some of the names that we're going to play a little game with. We need to find that line, as Julian loves to brag about every single week. So, our guy is obviously Tyrese Haliburton. Are you going to take Tyrese or Darius Garland?
fuck you, Jerry. Sorry.
Love you so much.
Oof.
Tough one.
You know what? I will take Tyrese.
Ooh. Tomer?
I'll take the guy that's led his team to a playoffs without Colin Sexton. I'll take Darius Garland. It's close, but
That's fair.
I think I'll take Darius Garland
That's
on
fair.
that one.
I also agree that it's close, but Tyrese.
Okay. Next up,
I think Jerry found the line.
Tyrese. This one, in my mind, is pretty easy. But Tyrese or Shea Gilgeous-Alexander?
Shea.
It has to be Shea, doesn't it?
Yeah,
And
Shea.
I mean,
Come on.
leading the league
Is
in
it?
30 points scored right now.
But Is it?
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
it's not just that. I mean, Shea's doing it on insane efficiency. Like this dude is shooting like 50% from the field. He's insane right now. I think he's had like
if
9 or 10 straight games with a block too. Like
yeah, if
he's crazy.
if the Thunder weren't sitting near 500, I think this would be a lot closer. But it has to be Shea, right? It has to be Shea.
I mean, again, the Thunder are just like 1.5 game back of the Warriors. Not that far
The West
away.
is wild. The West is like legitimately wild.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tyrese, and remember, this is currently right now. Tyrese or Kyrie Irving? Who do you want on your
Tyrese,
team now?
Tyrese.
It's got
I
to be
expected.
Tyrese.
Oh, damn. Okay.
I
Not
mean,
close.
does the baggage come with it?
Of course. Everything
Okay,
comes
so
with it. Who do you
my
want?
guys bring if he's bringing his travel stuff. No, I'm taking Tyrese. Yeah, I'm taking Tyrese.
Honestly, if you without the baggage, fit wise, I would have wanted Malcolm Brogdon over Kyrie Irving with Kevin Durant.
We're not going to jump into that right now. Okay, last one. Actually, I have two more for you. Tyrese or Trae Young?
I'm taking Trae Young on that one.
Trae Young.
He's not
I know
looking
we.
great right now, but I'm taking
I,
Trae Young.
I hate you, Jerry. I mean, it's gotta
Wow.
be Tyrese.
Wow.
Ooh, okay. All right.
Right now,
Right now.
come on, man. Trae Young's got DeJounte, and they're sitting with the same record as Tyrese. What can I do, man? What do you
Okay.
want?
Okay. Last one. I think I saved this one for last because this is the fun one in my mind. And he also just came back from injury. Tyrese Haliburton or James Harden?
Oh. That woke me up.
It's a fun one. I like this game.
I'll take Tyrese
Who
Haliburton,
would
and
I?
that's only because of the upside, and we don't know what's going on with James's injury status. He's kind of always missing time. I'm gonna go with Tyrese. I'm not happy about it, and it's close, but
Right before the injury, James Harden was doing crazy things.
that's the thing. We haven't seen him able to do it for long stretches since his Houston days. That's
The
the problem.
the problem that you have with Anthony Davis is kind of the problem we should have with James Harden.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. I think we're getting in for me, seeing what he did at the beginning of the season with Philly, and seeing what he's capable of. I think Tyrese is the more fun player to watch. God damn it. Nope, it has to be Tyrese.
Okay.
It has to be Tyrese.
Cool. So we are locked on
They're
that. I like
Tyrese is
it.
doing the same thing with less.
Tyrese Halliburton love today, man. I'll take it, man. I love Tyrese. So since Julian, you kind of answered this question already. So this isn't for you now. It's just for Tomer. What NBA star do you have beef with, Tomer?
What NBA star do I have beef with?
Is Kyrie a valid answer, by the way, Jerry?
Sure. I mean, you went full scorched earth on AD, so I kind of thought that was yours, but you're welcome to jump back in this as well.
I'll let Tomer answer first.
I mean, you can feel free because I didn't even know this was coming.
Okay.
I got
I
to
don't
think about
even
this
know
one.
I don't know if I have fan with I don't know if I have beef with Kyrie or Kyrie's fans, like his acolytes. Listen, I get it. Kyrie Irving is one of the most talented ball handlers ever. Probably the most talented ball handler in NBA history. But at the same time, at what point does it not get ridiculous? Every season there is something. There is something. Outside of teams with LeBron, Tatum, KD, Kyrie hasn't sniffed 500. Basketball is a team game, and you're supposed to be the best player on your team. You're supposed to lead your team, right? He hasn't done that ever. Ever.
Okay,
So
relax.
I
We're friends here.
listen. No, 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 no we are. We no, we are. We are. But I guarantee you, if I told you what I told my friends in 2019 when the Nets pulled that move to get KD and Kyrie, I told them, like I will tell you now, I did not think KD was worth bringing Kyrie to the Nets. I would have rather we kept D'Lo, Jarrett, Karras,
No way.
Spencer. Like yes, yes.
Really?
I said that in 2019. I said that now. Yes.
Wow.
You know why? Because the Nets were sitting at damn near the same record, near 500, still made the playoffs, still couldn't really hold a candle to the East best teams, and look where we are right now. The exact same place. So at some point, what at what point
Woo.
do stats become empty? This is the grand question that I have for Kyrie Irving and his fans. At what point do stats become empty? At what point does a shot become one moment in an otherwise disappointing career?
Okay, so man,
That
please tell
is
me you have an answer
spicy.
now. He's going crazy. We have to water him down.
I do think he has some points there. I think Kyrie's stands, I should say, are a little outrageous. Anytime he gets brought up, they do need to settle down. They're bordering on Warriors fans who are also sort of outrageous. So I won't go into that. Um, yeah, I do agree with some of Julian's takes on that. I think when you look at the grand scheme of his career, he's had a pretty disappointing career when you think about the talent, the offensive skill set. Um, Granted, he had probably the biggest shot in NBA history, one of the biggest shots in NBA history. Um, but
Ray Allen and
yeah,
Steve Kerr disagree, but
he
okay.
hasn't done sure. Oh, that's right, good one. But he hasn't done much without some of his, a number one next to him. So um, I'll agree with that. For my take, I'm not gonna pick a player. Can I pick a team here?
Sure, your world, baby,
I'm
your
gonna
world.
so I'm gonna go with the Houston Rockets. And here's why. We know they're awful. They're not great. We understand that. They should be building around Alper and Şengün like last year instead of building
Ooh,
around guards. And I think they're wasting their
ooh.
time by not using what others in the NBA, players in the NBA have called Alper and Şengün Baby Jokic. They've actually called him Baby Jokic because of his skill set, because of how he runs the offense for the Rockets. And with respect to some of the guards, I just don't think you need those two guys jacking up 20 shots a game if it's not running through Şengün. The Rockets should be running their offense through him. They should be running. It should be Jokic style for them, because if they're not, they're wasting that young man's career so far. I think we saw Jokic took a few years to actually get the start. They had to trade, I believe, Yusuf Nurkic to get him started, and then we really saw his career develop. Um, Rockets have a lot of young talent. I don't think KPJ fits their timeline right now. And while Jalen Green is really good, I really think you need to build around Alper and Şengün because there's a lot of baby Jokic in Şengün right now. And I think you'd be remiss not to explore that deeply and see what you have in him because, man, he's talented. He's really talented right now. He's really good. I feel like they're wasting him, and it's bugging me when I watch them play. I really feel like they're wasting him a bit.
No,
Yep.
Chengun plays like an alien. He plays like a member of the Baby Thunder right now, in that he plays weird and amazing basketball. Um, my so I was hoping that you'd say KPJ because I hate KPJ. Um, I like you. Well, I'm biased. You don't ask a Filipino about Jalen Green and expect them to be unbiased. We love him. Um, uh, um, but I will say those two guards at their best scream elite twos at their ceiling, not ones. Chengun looks like a project, but a project with an incredible tool set.
Yeah. Okay.
He's
Um,
got everything he
I like
needs to
those
be
two
in
answers.
to be. He's really got everything he needs to be a
right,
Jokic. He just needs
right.
guards to stop dominating the ball and let him run the offense. Like Jamal Murray was really good, uh, Jokic still runs the show. Like I
Exactly.
think
Yes.
you can have that type of
Yes.
thing with Jalen
Yes.
Green and Şengün. Just have Şengün be the
Yes.
number one. I don't really have a problem with
Yes.
KPJ that way. I just think they need to tone down the amount of one-on-one individual. I got this, you got this type of plays.
Right.
Just run through
KPJ
Şengün
KPJ
and
is
make
like
it
an
happen
iso
from
ball
there.
king.
That's all
Exactly.
on the team at that point. That should be on Paul Silas at that point. Like he needs to
Well,
figure
here's the
that
thing.
stuff
Right.
out.
All these young guys are trying to make a name for themselves, trying to get their next big contract. So it does make sense that from a personal standpoint, they're trying to make money for themselves, trying to make a career for themselves. It's not easy to say, all right, we're going to go to that guy and you're going to be the number 2 or number 3 now. It's hard to say, especially for a young coach trying to find his niche in the NBA. It's not easy. We know how his career started. He joined, Harden asked out, Westbrook asked out. Like, that's not easy. But I do think eventually, in the very near future, they need to start running through Şengün because they're wasting their kind of potential if they don't.
You know, you're like honestly, like you make a good point about him not wanting to step on any toes and actually make a name for himself as a coach, but it comes down to a point where your job's going to be on the line if you keep having losing seasons for X amount of time. Like, especially not to throw race into this, but we kind of all know it's true. As a black coach in any league, your time frame is your margin for error rather is so small. So, like, how many more losing seasons can the Houston Rockets turn in before he's fired and before they replace him with God knows who? Like, that's why you have to start mixing things up. You got to figure something out, like ASAP, as soon as you possibly can.
One final note on that is you also don't know what the front office is, the GMs, the president are kind of telling him, kind of wanted to see. Are they wanted to see more Jalen Green? Or they wanted to see more off the dribble? You don't know what they're kind of asking him to do. And so if they're saying we want more Jalen Green on the ball, more creation out of him, then you can't really do anything about that. I just think organizationally they need to build around Şengün, and I understand Silas is in a tough situation, but I think organizationally, not just on him, they really need to go to Şengün. He really has like baby Jokic potential, and I really want to see that unlocked. He's so good.
Okay.
Oof, that
Next
felt like
game
a
here,
rant I had to get
fellas.
off my chest. Whew.
There you go.
I was
what
laying
I got
on it.
next.
Oh.
So
Feels better, doesn't it?
I'm gonna read out some stats for a
fantastic.
duo, guys, and I want you guys to pick this duo, to pick a duo. So, first one, 54.7 points, 21 rebounds, 9 assists, 2.6 steals a game, and 3 blocks per game. The next duo, 57.7 points, 15 rebounds, 7.8 assists, 2 steals, and 1.5 blocks per game. You taking duo A or duo B?
I got to take duo A, I feel like.
I'm gonna be
They
that
offer
guy.
less scoring, but I think
I need to be that guy. I need efficiency here, but I'm gonna go with option A on that one.
yeah.
Okay. Option A is Anthony Davis and LeBron James.
Son of
Hey, you ready for option B?
Is it
Jake-
Tatum and Brown? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
hey,
You
that
cheated
was
giving us a big.
yeah. I mean, all the stats other than the points are higher than the Celtics, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. But I'm pretty sure people in the comments will rip you guys to shreds for not picking Tatum.
Well, that's why there are 5 players on the court and not just 2.
Hey, indeed. But I asked you to pick a duo, not a team.
Tomer, they're going to. You know what? In a vacuum, all things being equal, I think I still would take AD and LeBron over those two. I'll be very honest. Yeah,
it's fair.
I would.
So for
My
the
guy
next thing
pushing
here,
his
guys,
agenda with some anonymous duo picking. Come on, man. That Lakers agenda is being pushed.
hey,
It is.
I'm driving. I'm driving the bus right now. Okay,
It is. Think about it this way, Tomer. You don't have to talk about the Nets for about half an hour with me not at the helm.
Oh, you know what? I'll take that.
We didn't talk about the Lakers that long. Come on now. It was you. I'm not getting into this. So I'm gonna give you guys a scenario. I'm gonna tell you something that happened, and you're gonna tell me what it means in NBA terms. Okay. So very recently, Baker Mayfield got released and signed with a team the next day in the defending champions. What does that mean in NBA terms?
It's like Anderson Varejao in 2016.
I
It's
mean,
Anderson Varejao going to the Warriors.
no, on a more serious term, I'll go Dennis Smith Jr. getting picked, and then getting cut a few years later. That's what I think in NBA terms. Obviously, not joining the champions, but had a pretty high ceiling. It just didn't live up to it right away.
That's fair.
Do you want like okay? So I had this situation. Like, yes, it's a jokey situation, but I think that's like the closest thing that you'll find in terms of like timeline. Um, but are you looking for like a player comp sort of deal?
I'm really just looking for a scenario that fits in your mind. So
I
honestly,
In the
mean,
NBA terms,
I think yeah,
yeah,
in NBA.
Anderson Varejao has to be mine, and then they can use Dennis Smith as like the as a supplement to comp Baker Mayfield. Honestly, too.
Okay,
they're
next one. Next
sticking
one.
with it.
Aaron Judge signing a 9-year, $360 million contract. What does that mean in NBA terms?
Giannis re-signing with the Bucks despite not having won anything.
I think that's solid.
Do you think Judge has like that potential in him?
Didn't Judge just have like a
He just
record home run
he,
amount or something like that?
Listen. My tough thing is with the Yankees, they are the ultimate regular season team. Um,
Were the Bucks not that for a while?
but
I mean, they ran into Kawhi and got lost 4 in a row.
right. But like you saw a lot of faith in. Yeah, I just don't see that future
I'll
for
be
Judge
honest,
at this point. If I'm being
I'm
very,
not
very honest.
sure. I'll be honest, I'm not too into baseball, so I don't know the team storylines as much. But from what I can
So,
kind of guess,
right,
I
right,
would go
right, right.
star wise. Giannis feels like on the same level before the big contract, before the title. I
I'll
would say.
yeah. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Like with the magnitude of stardom.
so who's yours, Jew? Like,
I'll
what's
give
your
I'll
NBA?
give I'll put it with Jokic's supermax.
Oh, super.
No,
Okay.
no, 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 no,
Okay.
no, 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 no. Embiid supermax.
Because you
My
don't
guy said
believe
no.
in
My guy
me.
no. My guy said Phillies. Oh, rough.
Here's my thing. I think that the Sixers at their peak are arguably the NBA's best regular season team. But, you know, time's running short for them with Embiid, time's running short for the Yankees with Aaron Judge's prime. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. I got two more for you. Joe Burrow is 3-0 versus Patrick Mahomes in his career. And I could add for you that it all happened within the same calendar year, like all in 2022. What is an NBA comp for the situation?
Can you say that one more time? Joe Burrow's what?
what,
He's 3-0 versus Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs in his career.
what was Ja's record last year against Golden State before the playoffs?
Before the playoffs. Let's try to look it up.
Pull that up. Last season, one. They were 3-1 against the Warriors.
So I would say the closest thing would be Ja um, against Steph and the Warriors.
Okay. Like playoff wise. In terms like,
Yeah.
or are you talking about like as a
No,
okay.
no, no, no. In terms of like the regular season.
Okay. So there.
No,
Patrick
because as soon as you
Mahomes,
enter the
Joe
playoffs, no,
Burrow.
hell no.
That's tough. That one I actually don't have one for. Shit. I guess. Oh, that's tough.
It doesn't even have to be
Try-
like current day NBA things either. If you want, it could be all time. Like if you have a player that you think has supreme dominance over a certain guy, like LeBron's record to compare, like versus D Wade, I think trumped him. LeBron's record over Kobe trumps him. Like head to head matchups, it can be even something like that if you wanted to be.
Are you calling Kobe greater than LeBron James all time?
No, LeBron has a winning record versus Kobe. Or Chauncey Billups has a winning record over MJ, LeBron, and Kobe. Like some weird shit. Like
Okay, no. Yeah. Chauncey Billups in the 04 finals.
it's so
Jeez.
crazy, bro.
I'm
um,
gonna go with.
no, but I think right now it's like same position, like a historically bad team with that's helmed by like the new hotness that like had the sauce like relatively briefly against like the NBA's like golden boy or the NFL's golden boy. I think it has to be Jaws 22-22 regular season against Steph.
I'm gonna go like. I'm gonna go Kawhi when he went against LeBron in the 2014 finals. I feel like I don't want to call him kryptonite, but he did
He
make it tough on LeBron. I would say I don't really have a good comp for
he
that.
wasn't that guy for the Spurs though.
He
Okay,
was.
fair.
I'm struggling to find. The other one I can think of was like Durant when LeBron came in, LeBron when Durant came in. I guess I'm not sure about that one. I'm looking up their history right now, see if my numbers are actually
Yeah,
correct here.
it's a
Um,
tough one and it's so random. So it is going to be difficult to come up with something on the spot. I give you that.
yeah, I
So
mean
last one.
the Thunder were losing every game they face against LeBron, so that's not a good one. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with the Kawhi
Okay, you know
LeBron
what?
one.
What one other random one? The way that Kobe talked about T Mac would remind me of that sometimes. Where he was like the person that always gave me issues was T Mac. The same way that like you know what I mean? Like looking back on their careers, I can see that happening. You know, for that one stretch of time, Joe Burrow gave me fits or gave the Chiefs fits.
Yeah.
You know
So
what I
this
mean?
last
It'll
one,
be that.
I like that one probably better than your first one because when it mattered most, John the Grizzlies didn't get it done, like in the
Right,
playoffs.
right, right.
So this last one is in spirit of the Qatar World Cup going on. Cristiano Ronaldo being benched for Portugal.
Oh,
NBA
Allen
teams.
Iverson being benched. Allen Iverson being benched when he joined the Pistons or the Grizzlies, whichever one it was.
Okay, that's a good one. I like that. I'm just going to jump in here while you think, Jew. Definitely Russell Westbrook getting benched at the start of this season is kind of like, whoa.
I was gonna say Mello for that brief dark period of his life.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Woo.
It's just ugh. Because I feel like Cristiano also has like that attitude right now where he's like,
Yeah,
you know what I
like
mean?
definitely whiny baby s type of things going on out of him.
Yeah. I think it is though the common theme of like these erstwhile stars that have like huge egos, um, getting the short shrift as they age and not gracefully.
Yep. Well, shoot, Tomer, it is time. NBA all time draft. Give us a team. Let's get into it.
All-time draft. It is my turn to pick, which means I will draft third overall. Um, I am picking the Seattle Supersonics / OKC Thunder franchise.
I
Ooh,
Get your basketball reference open, find your stats. I needed some help with this one. But yeah, we're gonna go with the Seattle Supersonics / OKC Thunder franchise.
Who's drafting first, Tamer?
Who I think it's Jerry this week. Yeah,
Jay's not getting stuck with second again.
I'm not getting in the middle this time.
no,
Dude,
no sir.
I'm gonna take Kevin Durant first overall. KD, easy one. I'm taking him. KD.
You know those drafts where like after the number one pick, like you don't want the second one. Um,
So
I
Mary got
gotta say,
the Dylan laugh.
I
I
got I got
I I
prime
think I
picking
got
position on this one.
I think I gotta say I gotta say Gary Payton.
That's a
Okay,
solid
I
pick though.
and
not
I
bad.
think his game carries over into the modern day.
Um, I gotta. I'm gonna go for my third overall pick. I'm gonna go with Russell Westbrook as my point guard. I think Thunder Russell Westbrook was a monster.
I understand.
The
That's who I was going to pick
problem
next.
is, my second guy. I'm gonna go with Ray Allen as the shooting guard. That guy, Sonics Ray Allen, was
You
insane. So I gotta
fumbled
go
your
with him.
bag, boy.
Did I really?
Too
I
late
have two.
now. Fumbled your bag because I'm taking Sean Kemp. I am taking the duo that took the Bulls to 6.
That's a good
That's
one.
good. That's a good pick.
Ooh, you fumbled the. See, here's the thing. If I were you, I would have picked Sean Kemp to avoid him falling to me.
Yeah, well, I have
You don't
someone
want. You don't
in
want.
mind. I'm thinking. Yeah, I don't want to give too much away, but I have someone else in mind for my
I,
team.
I do like Ray though. Ray's a good pick. Ray that would have been like I would have struggled with Ray. I
All-time leader
really
in
do
threes
love Ray on the
until.
Sonics.
Yeah, that's the thing. So shooting guards
Yeah.
wise, behind Ray Allen, it just gets really rough. Like, yeah, I had to go with him.
I like it. Let's see. I'm gonna take James Harden here early because dude was a Six Man of the Year award winner. Pretty damn good.
Finals flameout. I like that.
Hey, we're just talking about for a regular season game, man. Like, hey, I'm gonna take him. Finals flame out. So, man, I did not expect that out of you. You know that was a little blow.
You know what?
Damn.
You know what? Harden forgot how to basketball in that series, and I don't understand why. I just don't know why.
Shit, me and you both.
Let me. I'm gonna jot these down just so we don't forget real quick.
Yeah.
The Sean Kemp thing, I really thought I was gonna have a chance to scoop him because once Tomer failed to say his name, I'm like, oh, I can just get Sean Kemp. Let's see, what else do we got? Damn, I feel like we got like most of the key names out the way. You know what? I'm actually gonna surprise you guys here. I'm gonna take Shai Gilgeous-Alexander right now. The guy's playing out of his mind. I'm gonna take him. 30 points a game. So yeah, I'm cool with that.
Fumbled the bag again. I'm taking Rashard Lewis.
God damn it, bro!
That's a good.
That's who I had. I was like, I'm gonna go with floor spacing
Fumbled the
power
bag again.
forward.
Fumbled it again.
You're a
Fumbled
rat,
it
bro.
again.
You're a rat right now. I don't like you. I don't like you right now.
That's a good one.
Underrated, dog. Him and Ray were dangerous in like the
I
mid
know.
2000s.
I was gonna go with the mid 2000s duo
Dangerous.
right there.
Dangerous right there. With Luke Ridnour.
Okay,
Luke
I'm gonna go. Now this is tough, bro. Oh man, that really screwed me. I have back-to-back picks here, so not too bad. I'm so frustrated right now, bro. I thought Rashard would follow me, but wait. So you have two power forwards? Hold on now.
No. Richard's a 3.
Yeah,
Richard's a
more.
3.
Yeah,
Richard's a 3. Relax.
maybe later in his career he kind of transitioned to that stretch four, but he played more three.
Right.
Okay. I feel like I'm gonna go my big man. I'm gonna go with the back-to-back blocks champion and go Serge Ibaka because Thunder Serge Ibaka was a menace defensively. Man, I really fumbled the bag on this one. I'm not happy. I'm not happy right now.
I really wanted Serge Ibaka.
Bro, hold on. I almost forgot about this. Bro, I'm taking Paul George. What am I doing right now?
Oh shit.
What? Brother. Hold on.
Damn.
That was a sneaky good one. I forgot about PG.
Yo.
Damn.
on. So yeah, whew, that was close.
That one
That was
that
close.
one season. Ooh.
2 seasons.
2 seasons. That's right. Dang.
That's a good one.
Damn.
Jerry, who was your last pick?
SGA was my last pick.
Okay.
I feel like I'm not so bad. I don't feel that bad about missing out on Rashard Lewis, but Paul George, I should have said PG, man.
Yeah, Paul George, I feel pretty bad.
Oh
about.
man. Whew. We're alive.
Those couple of seasons with Paul George were different.
I don't know how I forgot about that one.
That was
Who else can I have? Also, oh my God, who do I want? Do I want like the old guy?
this is the old
Why you
guy.
say like I need
No.
to figure out who you talk about.
What?
So I'm just trying to figure out who you're talking about. Like the old guy?
Like I have some. Oh God, I don't know if I want the old dude. Would okay? Would y'all allow me to move Sean Kemp to my 5?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I'll say so.
In that case, I will take. In that case, I will take Detlef Schrempf.
Man,
You know,
bro, Sean Kemp never played a minute
I
of
was
5 in
gonna
his career, bro. Come on. Come on with
Small ball
this,
5.
bro.
Small ball 5. Small ball 5. Small ball 5.
yeah.
So you want
Uh,
Rashard Lewis in his heyday, but you want Sean Kemp nowadays.
What do you mean?
I'm just pissed, man. I'm just pissed. I'm just being salty.
hey,
I'm not being a good sport right
Hey,
now, bro.
low key, you took Ray Allen, but I think I might have the best shooting on my squad.
Yeah, because I got Russell Westbrook on my
I'm-
team. But OKC Russ wasn't that bad.
Well, OKC wasn't.
yeah. Okay, see Russ. I had more faith in his jumper back then. I had more faith in him.
More faith. The fact that you're talking about more faith tells me buttloads about OKC Russell Westbrook.
I'm gonna take because I have 2 picks here, right, to fill out the rest of my team.
Yeah.
Yes.
I need a big. You took Surge. I have KD, Harden, and SG. I'm gonna take Terry Cummings. Played for Seattle, correct? Terry Cummings wasn't
But he
wasn't a bad player.
wasn't he a guard?
I thought Terry Cummings was like a power forward center. Google that real quick.
And I think he's a power forward, small.
Let me-
Yeah, okay, that works. That works.
So Terry
That
Cummings is gonna have to be my center. And
He played a half year in Seattle. No, excuse me. He played 45 games in Seattle.
I don't know why I remember Terry Cummings playing in Seattle, but it has to do.
He has more years with the San Diego Clippers than it does the Seattle Supersonics.
I pulled the name out of my ass from there. It's
Okay,
just
okay,
that
okay.
simple.
All right.
Let's see. See, Detlef was really like a guy that I had my eyes on too. That he kind of
Right.
just went off the fucking rails and scooped up. For the sake of time, KD's going to just have to play the 4. For the sake of time, I can't think of any other good name. So I'm going to say Hershey Hawkins because I can't think of anybody else right now.
Hershey Hawkins?
Hershey Hawkins, man.
All right.
A lot of judgment on that
Am
pick,
I
Julian.
too?
Jeez.
It's because he forgot about Dale Ellis.
Oh, can I swap out, man?
No.
Damn.
Are you taking Dale Ellis?
Oh,
Yes.
Is that who you're taking? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Then I
Daddy needs to
appreciate
shoot
you both.
27 and a half points a game.
Okay, then I'll take. I'm thankful for that. I'll take. I believe. One of, is he one of the best? He's probably somewhere on their leaderboard. I'll take Jack Sigma as my center.
I was debating him before I took Detlef. I was thinking about that. That's what I was
If
debating.
you didn't take Detlef, I would have taken him and moved Serge to my 5. But that's what we have. All right, so run down through our teams. Right now, with my 5 for the Seattle Supersonics / OKC Thunder franchise. What?
No. Please go. I'll save my thing for later.
So for
I already know what he's about to say, man.
Oh god. So for my Seattle Supersonics / OKC Thunder franchise, I got Russell Westbrook at the 1, Ray Allen at the 2, Paul George at the 3, Serge Ibaka at the 4, and Jack Sigma at the 5.
All right. For my boys, I have Gary Payton leading the charge, setting the tone on defense. I'm partnering up with Sean Kemp, sliding him to the 5 as small ball 5 for today's modern NBA as the ultimate lob target. I have 27.5 points a game one season with Dale Ellis at my 2. And then low key, I have a very modern front court shooting wise with Detlef and Rashard Lewis. I think my team is the most modern by far out of all of ours.
All right. And for my squad, I have KD, which is pretty much the easy number 1 pick to take. James Harden, minus the finals burnout. We can just talk about his 6-man greatness. SGA, just for the sake of being as modern as could be in today's NBA. Terry Cummings, 45 games be it all. Pretty solid role player. And Hershey Hawkins, a staple guy on those 90s Sonics teams back in the day. So,
Dog, you just built the 2022 Brooklyn Nets.
Hey, chill out, man. Disrespectful, bro. That's disrespectful. Why are you gonna flame yourself like that? In the shirt and everything, bro? Like, no, it is not that.
No, but you just drafted an all-time team. Is what I'm saying.
Look, hey man, when you guys take my shit, like, or I take a player, my mind just starts to go down. What is my backup?
You had the number 1 pick, bro.
I took the best player. And that was all. That's the best I can do, man.
Okay. So I'm playing against the 2022 Brooklyn Nets, and then against the outside of Ray Allen, no one else is a threat from outside 15 feet. So I'm not worried about my team at all.
What about
Paul George. Fair. PG's up there.
Serge Ibaka, bro.
All right,
Serge
all right.
Ibaka was shooting
So
threes back in his days.
Okay. Not in the Thunder days. Raptors days for sure. Not the Thunder days.
Serge Ibaka was shooting. He has multiple years of 38, 37% from 3.
On what volume?
On like 3 attempts.
He wasn't shooting.
That's
on the Thunder days?
Yeah.
I'm not saying the volume's there, but he could shoot threes.
Okay. I'll respect that. Not on my level, but yeah, I'll respect that. That makes sense. All right, I'll respect Tomer's team.
Dude, your Brooklyn Nets right now have the number 1 rated in the league. Your Brooklyn Nets have the number 1 defense rated in the league, man. I'm not doing too bad. I think I'm fine.
That's great.
Gary, I think you're fine. Man. I just think I think you got the best player for sure. I can't believe Paul George dropped that far.
Jerry easily has the best player in this draft. Right. Yeah, we fumbled the bag with Paul George. Those 2 MVP seasons.
No, we did.
Well, guys, level seasons, yeah.
I'm gonna say. Can I say one thing before we hop off? Because I saw some news and I wanted some reaction to it. I'm hyped for this. I saw that Rush Hour 4 is in the works, and that was just announced a couple hours ago. I think Jackie Chan announced it. I'm hyped for this movie. I love the Rush Hour series. I don't know if you guys are fans, haters. I don't know what. Julian might be a hater at this point.
I grew up with Rush Hour. I love Rush Hour.
All-time movie for me, man.
All-time comedy, yeah, for sure.
I'm hyped. I can't wait for it. I hope they don't censor it too much or go too soft on it, because I think they make a great duo, but I can't wait for that movie. I really can't. I'm excited.
I grew up with Rush Hour. Like that partnership, Yao Ming and T-Mac was a part of my childhood.
Yeah.
Lastly, before we do go, BG's finally free, guys. BG's free.
Proud of him.
About damn time. About damn time.
Yeah.
Home for the holidays. We
Oh
love
my
that. We
god.
love that.
Home for the holidays.
Hey man, no, I
All
mean,
right.
in all seriousness, it's about damn time.
Yeah, no, it
It's
is
about damn
though.
time.
All right, fellas. It's been another very, very fun episode. Your boy Jerry D, Juju, Tomer signing off yet again. Again, follow all the socials, man. Just check us out. We're just here to have a good time with everybody, man. Appreciate y'all.